Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today lecture will be presented by Dr. Sabar. The title of the lecture, How to Prepare Test and Other Evaluation Methods that Comply with the Learning Outcomes. Dr. Sabar will talk about 30 or 40 minutes, and after that we will open the session for questions. So, Dr. Sabar, you can start, please.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Salah.
You are welcome, Dr. Sabar.
Assalamualaikum, everyone, and good evening. Okay. So our discussion today is about how to prepare tests and other evaluation methods that comply with the learning outcome. So we plan as a part 1. Okay, maybe you can have a part 2. Okay, you can see later if necessary. Okay. Okay, actually I make it a bit. Okay, what happened to my? Okay, I made a bit the adjustment to the title, so to make it more educative rather than accredited. Okay, accreditation. So this is so now I can say how to prepare the test and other assessment method that align with the LO. Okay, so we have 3 important keywords here: assessment, LOs, and alignment. Okay, so we need to see the either our assessment is aligned with the LO or not. Okay, so this is the most important when preparing the test or other assessment method, for example. If not aligned, meaning that okay, so I have problem later. So we can see, we can discuss. Okay. So the content of this discussion today is so this is about we can start with the outcome-based education, okay, and then learning outcome, okay, and then assessing LOs, and then also we discuss about this alignment because these 3 main components: LOs, assessment, and teaching and learning strategy must be aligned. So this is the requirement from the NCEEE, for example. And then how to create the test or exam that align or in the original title is we say comply. So this is we call as now you can say it's more I think it's more educative, aligned with the LOs. And how long the test should be, okay? And then how to to give the mark for the point value to the test, and then we can come out with the conclusion. Okay, now let me start with the outcome-based education, OBE. So OBE is approach to the student learning, which specify what the students should be able to do in order to demonstrate the learning outcome has taken place. So that's why all our course they must have now we have the learning outcome. So that because the approach here is the outcome based. So outcome based education. You say outcome based education, okay, and it is contrast with the traditional model. This traditional model is focused on the material that provided by teacher. But in the OBE, so they are focused on the output. So OBE will be student-centered or output-oriented. So they become learning and teaching approach. Okay, and meanwhile in traditional is we call as a teacher-centered, so input-oriented. So they are like teaching and learning oriented. Okay, and then what is the learning outcome? Okay, so the learning outcome are the performance made possible by the learning. I mean, there is the when the people learn, so there must be produce the performance. That are what the learner is able to do when learning is complete. Learner here is our student. So what our student is able to do when the course, for example, is complete, if they are in the course level. or the program is complete in the program level. So that's why we have in course level, we have the CLO, course learning outcome, and in program level, we have PLOs, program learning outcomes. So for example, in PLOs is describe what the students should be able to do to complete the program. So meaning that in course level, so they describe what a student should be able to do to complete the course. So this is the meaning of the learning outcome. So okay, learning outcome. So in our mind now, because this is OBE, so there must be the first one in our mind is learning outcome. So this is that's why it is very important to understand the learning outcome first. So for example, what's the outcome of this session? So I hope by the end of this session, participants will be able to first define important term in assessment or evaluation, and also will be able to apply various steps of the assessment of evaluation, and able to design assessment, test or exam, for example, that align with the learning outcomes. Okay, this is for example outcomes. Okay, is it OBE implemented in Saudi Arabia? The answer is yes. Okay, so we refer to the NCAA, for example. Okay, so there are standard 4, standard 4 and standard 3. Standard 4 in the previous NCAA 2015, and then the latest one 2018 NCAA standard 3, all about the learning and teaching. So actually they requires the adoption of the outcome-based approach. So and then there are some requirements. For example, in 2018 NCAA standard 3 required that graduate attribute and learning outcome at the program level must be precisely defined, consistent with the requirement of the Saudi Arabia qualification framework, and with the relative academic professional standard, and also labor market requirement. And also, they highlight also in this standard that teaching staff must implement diverse and effective teaching and learning strategy and assessment method. So teaching and learning assessment method and then must be suitable to the learning outcome. So so learning outcome so must be defined, okay, precisely, okay. So they must be consistent, and teaching and learning and also assessment method must be aligned with this learning outcome. So this is requirement from the NCAA, for example. So that's why, okay. So we call OBE in case is good, is implement very good actually. Okay, and then if you look at assessment based on NCAA standard 3, for example, I list just 3 here. Actually, there are more. Okay, there are the requirement for the assessment in the standard 3, for example. Teaching and learning strategy and assessment method vary according to the nature and level of the study. For example, there must be this strategy and assessment must be okay. Okay, very. And then according to the nature of the level of the study itself. So we must be designed our assessment, okay, suitable to the level of the study. And the program monitor the commitment of the teaching staff in teaching and learning strategy and assessment method. So it's very important here to the program will monitor this, okay, through specific mechanism. So for example, and also the program also has to implement clear procedure to verify the assessment method, okay, to cover the LOs, okay. So the assessment method is very important in the NCAA standard 3. Standard 3 is about the learning and teaching standard. So there are many actually requirements. So I just highlight a few here. Okay. And then Zhejiang University already provide the manual how to develop and assess a student learning outcome. Okay, so so please read this as a guideline, for example. Okay, so this is a PDF you can available, you can download from the internet in this link, for example. So manual of developing and assessing student learning outcome. So the Institute of Academic Development, Zhejiang University.